Hello everyone. Yeah, um, Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thanks for those that have subscribed and are new subscribers also that they are just joining us on this channel, where we are discussing about project planning, project management, project controls. We discuss about P6, Primavera P6, advanced settings and advanced use of Primavera 6s is what we will be discussing on this channel. Uh, in our previous video, we discussed about the introductory part of um, the course that we will be uh, that we'll be talking about on this channel. And one of the things that we will be discussing again is the advanced features of Primavera P6, such as the resource management. How do we manage resources in P6? We will introduce you to the resource usage, including the Gantt chart. Resource usage is what you have on the screen. I believe you can all see my screen. Um, and also the Gantt chart. I've got the Gantt chart on the screen, which we will be discussing as well. And after that, we'll also discuss about the S-curve, how we can generate the S-curve, the M-value management. These are many more, is what we will be discussing. The essence of we discussing about all these things is for us to manage our resources efficiently to avoid over allocation. We wouldn't want to over allocate our resources, whereby we have resources that are underutilized in some areas and they are being resource loaded in some other areas. So we will be creating and assign roles, resources, expenses to build a realistic project budget. So in addition to that, we'll be also be looking into calendar. What kind of calendar can we create? We have three types of calendar. We have project calendar, we have global calendar, and we have resource calendar. So these are many more is what we'll be looking at also. And again, we'll discuss about constraint, lag. We'll discover how we can calculate our durations, how we derive calculations. And we'll talk about the types of constraints, both the hard constraint, the soft constraint. We will talk about that also, and the lag effect on our project timeline. So, and in addition to that, also we'll see how the different calendar settings impact the task uh, durations. So, and aside from that, also we'll be discussing about the activity code. How can we create code? How do we manage uh, our projects in such a way that it will be very easy for us uh, to to um, to control, to manage during the execution phase. And also, we'll be looking at a user-defined field, such as how can we create the user-defined field? What are the fields that we need to create? It's not limited to this alone. There are still some advanced discussion I'll be looking at in terms of delay analysis, and based on my own industry experience, I will share insights on how to go about things like this. So, moving forward, we will be looking into different calendar settings, how it impacts task duration. So, we'll be looking into that also, and we'll also be looking into what I mentioned earlier, which is the UDFs, I mean, the user defined fields. How can we organize our activities under custom fields to enhance tracking and reporting? So we'll be looking into that, and also we will also moving forward to look into customizing and formatting our uh, our Primavera P6. So we'll be looking into that. What I have on the screen is just a sample of how a project schedule will look like, which we will still be discussing. And another thing also we'll be looking at is the layout, bars, how do we create bars, how do we manage a project with using different types of bar. We have a lot of things that we can modify under bars, so we'll be looking into this in details, and also the formatting. And I will also be discussing with you the Primavera P6 display options, including how to set up your time scale, your and how you can customize your bar chart. You can configure your stacked histogram, like what I showed you earlier. How can you customize it? How do you even walk around your resources, your equipment, your um, uh, non-labor, all these things is what we will be discussing. And not just it will not be limited to that. The essence of discussing about all this stack histogram is to visualize project data, and we'll be looking also into printing and reporting. So how do we format our shared data in such a way that when we print it out to share with our stakeholders, the project manager, stakeholders, and the project team member? And how do we use the advanced filtering options to customize our report? This and many more is what we'll be looking at. And um, moving forward again, we'll be discussing about how we are going to integrate Excel with P6. We can work on both ends by integrating our P6 with our Excel in such a way that it enhances our workflow in terms of exporting and importing project data from Excel to P6 or from P6 to Excel quickly, to adjust and update, create project schedules. All these things is what we'll be discussing. And again, we use how to use the advanced group, sort, layout options, including filters, streaming. How do we even streamline our project data so that the focus views and organizing report will look well presented? And we'll also be looking into how do we create a schedule and baseline. We'll be creating and updating baseline. So I'll walk you through settings in baseline, setting in baselines and updating schedule. What are the options? What are the columns that you need to show? What are the things that you need to reflect in your project schedule that it makes it more presentable to the project team and to the stakeholders, including managing on-resource schedule and retain logic, progress override. We'll be looking into all this detail. And one more thing that we'll be looking at is the S curve and the end value. I know I've talked about the S curve and the end value. So we are going to explore the S curves, the end value calculation, and see how to analyze project performance against the plan baseline to stay on track. So we'll be looking into that also. So we'll be looking into that, and not just that. We'll be looking into well also we'll talk about delay analysis, how you can get into different types of delay, like excusable, non compensable, the concurrent, which is delay between which is a concurrent means delay that is existing between on the contractor side and also from the client side. So we'll be looking into that. Also, we'll be discussing about the delay analysis techniques like the extension of time, which is AOT, pacing, what is pacing, and offsetting delays. So these are the things that we would be looking at and that we will be talking about. The quality control of schedule. Also, we will look into it. We need to ensure that your schedule meets industry standard. What is industry standard? These are many more is what we'll be discussing on this YouTube channel, and identify potential scheduling issues before they become a problem. So you're always ready to deliver with confidence. So these are the things that you will learn on this channel, and we have advanced class also whereby we take you through all these things in deep, and you work on hands-on life projects whereby we share some ideas. We talked about how to execute a project, taking you through from the the very the very beginning of a project, how to walk through it, and how we can manage enterprise projects. I mean, at enterprise level project scheduling, you learn how to handle multiple projects, set up default projects, using Primavera P6 Advanced, um, using Primavera P6 Advanced, you know, and using Primavera Global Change features for quick adjustment, apply advanced code functions to manage large data sets, such as renaming activities, modifying durations, and renaming activities or modifying durations across multiple tasks. So these are the project planning essentials or to advanced technical, in which will help you to walk through Primavera pieces and come out as a certified, project scheduling. And yeah, so these are the things we'll be discussing in our next class. I hope to see you again, where we'll start in depth, with how to use Primavera pieces. We start from the basic, and also I'll be teaching you some tricks that you can also use in Primavera P6, that you can actually shortcuts. There are different shortcuts in P6, so I'll be walking you through all these things. Look at how to prepare, look at schedule, reports. All these things is what we will be discussing. So thank you for listening. See you on the next episode. Thank you.